Time Knits. This is episode 30. My name is Marie. I'm coming to you from central New Hampshire. Today is February 28th, 2024. This is my knitting podcast where I share all about my yarny adventures and my knitting life. I share about what's on my needles and off my needles. I share acquisitions. I share people I've met, places I've been. You can find me on Instagram and Ravelry as Old Time Knits. All right, today we're just going to jump right into it and talk about the elephant in the room. So here it is. Last episode I talked about doing my love note, and yes, indeed, I did finish it. I am going to insert some video footage while I talk about it with me wearing it. What a wonderful pattern. I forgot how fun it is. And a lot of times people say to me, oh, but I don't want to do the lace. Well, the lace is fantastic if you just use markers in between each lace repeat, which is exactly what I did. And I didn't have any trouble at all. So you guys know what this yarn is if you watched last episode. And if you didn't, if you're new here, if you're new here, I will link the episode above or down below. Anyway, I am using Knitting for Olive Merino in the dark blue colorway and Knitting for Olive Mohair in the navy blue colorway. This is all I had left. This is the merino and the mohair. I had 4 skeins of each of these, and this is all that I had left. Fantastic yarn. I have preached on and on about it, so I'm not going to talk too much more about it, but Knitting for Olive, if you haven't tried it, I highly recommend it. I really like the mohair. All right, I have my notes here so that I can talk about this. I did this in a US 10 6mm for the main body and a US 8 4mm for the ribbing. I did mine with 3/4 inch sleeves, which I usually do, which is why I probably got away with only 4 skeins of each of those. But I just find that I'm less hot when I have a 3/4 inch sleeve, and I just did a very small amount of ribbing. One of the modifications I did was to the sleeve, and I did this on my last one. I think they tell you to go down to quite a small amount of stitches, and I only went down to 36. Of course, it's landing here, not on my wrist for the sleeve, so that could be the difference. I didn't want it to be too tight on that. So what else? I did the size small. The pattern calls for, I don't even know if I said this is a pattern by Tin Can Knits, the love note. The pattern calls for a provisional cast on at the neckline, and I opt not to do that. I just long tail cast on, and then I go back and pick up the stitches in the aftermath. I used a US 10, which is what my main body needle, to pick up the stitches and decrease down to the stitches that I needed, and then I swapped to the 8 to do the ribbing on it. What else did I do? I did knit the body just a little bit longer. Most of you know that I'm a very tall person. I have a long torso, and I do not want crop top things on me. So fantastic knit. If you have not knit it, I highly recommend it, and I promise I will stop talking about it now. You're probably all so sick of hearing about it. And the next thing up is, boy, am I so proud of myself. I don't know if I'm even going to be able to show this to you, but ta-da! I finished my Cozy Comfort Throw. Let me see if I can get this going on here so that you guys can see it. Finally, here it is. I'm just going to drop it. I got so tired of it that I just finished it off. I was, I don't remember. I was just about here, I think. I don't know what happened to my progress keeper. Just about here when I showed it last on the podcast. And so I just added a few more stripes to it. It's not excessively long, but it's long enough. And I managed to remember to do the I-cord edge after I messed it up. There's the little goof where I forgot it. But I just used scraps, odds and ends of what I had in my stash, and I held it together with a white background, mostly white background yarn, and it gives it a great marling effect. And I do have project pages for all of my projects. I forgot to say that, linked below this video in the description box. So I am so happy that this is done. And let me just say that this is so squishy. So my granddaughter is absolutely going to love this. I'll stick it here. Yes, she's gonna love this. So I intend on giving it to her for her either her high school graduation or her 18th birthday is coming up. So we'll see one or the other of those. So that is the Cozy Comfort Throw by Molly Klatt of A Homespun House. And again, I have project pages linked down below. I am so happy to have that off the needles. I generally don't enjoy blankets. If you've been around here a while, you hear me complain about them. I love them when I first start them, and I love them till about halfway through, maybe 3/4 of the way. And then if I put it down, it's all over. I will go. This is a year that's been on the needles, and that does not make me happy. So, all right, let me see what is next. Next up is a test knit that I just finished, and I did ask the designer if I could share it on my podcast, and she said yes. I'm so excited to be able to share this with you. This was a fantastic knit. I do have some video footage of it, which I'm going to also share, and I will share a couple of pictures with me wearing it so you can see what it looks like on. So here it is. Yeah, this is so good. All right, this is, again, it's a test knit. This is called the Ash Slipover, and it's by Caidree. It was just such a great knit. I'm going to talk about the yarn first, and then I will talk about the construction a little bit more. What a great knit. It went so fast. So it calls for an Aran weight, I think. And I think a lot of the testers used maybe a worsted and a mohair. Anyway, this is what I had in my stash, which is why I jumped on the test, because I had Aran weight in my stash, and I had bought it for another sweater and just didn't end up using it for that. I just didn't like how it worked out. So anyway, this is it. It's Quince & Co. And it's the Osprey base. So it's 100% American wool. And then this is the Osprey Heather base. So it is in the Caspian colorway, and it is an Aran weight. Wow, nice yarn, really nice yarn. This is it. It's, I love the heather because it just makes it look like you did something special to your garment. All right, so this is done on a US 10.5, 6.5 millimeter, and then a 9, US 9, 5.5 for the ribbing. So the construction is here. Start at the back, at the top, at the back, and you knit down to the sleeve openings, and then you come back and you pick up along the top for the shoulder, and it makes this it makes this absolutely awesome little ridge along the shoulders. So this was the first time I had done that kind of a construction, and I really, really liked it. It was really easy. So then you knit the front down to the armholes, and you eventually join in the round. Knit, and then, oh, there's an end. Knit until the ribbing, and then you do the ribbing. So it was basically pretty, easy knitting, stockinette, and but the construction was very interesting, and I was really happy with it. Then you go back and you pick up for the sleeve openings, and you do ribbing. And this is a new to me technique, and it was short rows within the ribbing to shape it so you get a little bit of a cap at the top. And that was very interesting. I had never done short rows in a ribbing before, so I was super happy with that. That was fun to do, easy. And her instructions and her pattern is so clear and concise. It was just a terrific knit. And so the other thing I learned was, which I'm not sure I love it. It was very fun to do. It was an Italian sewn bind off. And I was happy to have learned that. I hear a lot about it. I think that one's a little bit easier than the tubular bind off. I didn't have to reposition my stitches anyway to work it. So that was a couple of new techniques. And then you go back and you pick up for the neckline, and again you do the Italian sewn bind off on the neckline. And the only other modification that I did, I stuck to the pattern, was I just added and lengthened the body just a little bit. So this is a fantastic knit. What else can I tell you about it? I think that's all there is to say about it. It's a very well written pattern. I did a size small, and you will see in the pictures I probably could have had a little bit more positive ease, but it still fits me, and I may try and block it again and see if I can gain a little bit more. I did not think I was going to have enough. I knew I wouldn't have enough yarn to go up a size to a size medium, and this is all I had left. This was 5 100-gram skeins, and the project called for 400 for the size small, and I think I used like 400 grams. I just broke into this 5th skein, so I would not have had enough to do a bigger size, but I am so happy with it. And it is a great knit, and great to have a slipover. I've never had a slipover in my wardrobe before. So the pattern's going to be released March 4th, which is just a few days away. But I also wanted to say that test knitting for this designer was absolutely fantastic. She was very attentive to all of the testers' needs and questions and all of that. She was really very, very nice, and I would definitely test for her again. So yeah, the Ash Slipover by Caidree. All right, I'm going to move on to my whips, which I have I have 3 whips today. The first one I was working on, I had just started it in my last episode, and it is called the Baker River Shawl. I did not have my pattern printed out previously, and this is by Judy of the Autumn Acorn. And I'm just going to zoom in a little bit. It's got the cutest little ruffle all along the bottom of it. Okay, so I have my shawl portion done, the actual shawl itself, and now I'm going to go back and pick up stitches all along the bottom here for the ruffle. So last night I finished this portion, and I was really sweating it. I was playing Yarn Chicken Something Fierce, and I have never played Yarn Chicken. I just always make sure that I have enough so that I don't, because it causes me stress so much. So anyway, this little bit right here is all that I had left. And my husband was over there cheering me on. It was quite comical, but I was so glad that I didn't run out. And I really thought in the pattern, I think Judy says that you need a fingering weight of 437 yards or more. And I thought that that's what this yarn was. But it was already skeined up in my stash and I did not have the ball band. So this is Palmer Yarn Company, and this was a one-of-a-kind colorway, if I remember correctly. And I had already skeined it up. It was ready to go for something else, and then I never got back to it. So I think that her skeins are only 400 yards, not 437. So lucky ducky, I just made it. I was so glad. That would have been such a bummer to get to this point and run out of yarn. Anyway, I would have made it work somehow. So I am ready for the ruffle portion on this. This is the test knit, so we'll be looking for a release hopefully soon. Judy has not given us an actual date yet. You have to go through the testing process. But I'm anxious to block this out because currently, obviously, it's pretty small when I wrap it around. But I really think that this is going to block beautiful. I mean, I can gain a lot of stretch from it. It is a beautiful colorway. Look at the colors in it. Yeah, really nice. So now I just have to decide what color I want for my ruffle. And I have a couple of choices, so I thought I would share them with you guys and see what you thought. So this is, see if I can get this to cooperate here. This is my color. So this is one of my options. This is a dark greeny gray color. This is a BFL silk fingering from Moondrake Yarn Company. So there's that one. Or I have this Sprigs and Stone colorway in this. And I kind of liked this one because I feel like it picks up on this greeny, muddy green color. But I don't know. Thought I'd ask you guys what you thought. Hard to show. I'm leaning towards this one because I think that this one is not quite enough of a pop, but I don't know. So tell me what you think in the comments down below. Pick one, either the green or the gray, and maybe that'll help me make my decision. So I can't wait to pick up stitches and get the ruffle going on. So I'm very close to being done on that. And that's always such a good feeling when you get to that point. So. Okay, next up, I have a half finished object. And here it is. So these are, or this is the Fletching Socks by Jessica McDonald. Colorwork sock. So pretty, right? Okay. I have that one done, and I am working on my second one. I'm doing the magic loop. So pretty. Oh, love it. So I haven't done a whole lot of colorwork anything, a few projects. I did make the Blizzard sweater also by Jessica McDonald. I like the way she writes her patterns, and her colorwork is always very user-friendly. So that's why I chose these. I also saw Amber of A Lovely Yarn. She has done a couple pair of these socks and loved them. So I decided to give it a shot. All right, let's talk about it a little bit. So these are normally done in sport weight yarn, but I decided to, I was able to study the pattern and the colorwork chart and realized that I could get them on a 48 stitch DK sock. And this is on a US 3.25 millimeter needle. So I have two things that I want to talk about with these socks. Sorry, I'm trying to get my thoughts together. um, the first is that for this sock, I went up to a US 4 for the color work so it wouldn't be too tight, because that's what I have done in the past, and that is highly effective so that you have ample stretch and you don't, it doesn't pull in too much and the sock doesn't fit. So that is what I did on this one. And because I like to learn and I like to try new techniques, I did something a little different on this one that I'm working on now. So I am on a US 3. I stayed on that, 3.25 millimeter. I stayed on that the whole way throughout this sock instead of going up a needle size. And I turned my sock inside out to knit it. And so basically you're knitting it on the outside of, turn it inside out, and you're knitting round and round. And look at my floats. Aren't they good? Anyway, I thought that that was a very interesting technique, and it helps you, it helps keep your floats looser because you're going around the outside of the sock. And so it was very interesting. You do have to pay attention a little bit more, but it wasn't too bad. This was a pretty simple chart to do that with anyway. But I think that it was a little fiddly, and I wasn't sure. It just seemed like it took a little bit more time and concentration to do it on the outside like that. There are plenty of videos on YouTube if you want to look up that technique for going, turning your sock inside out. But I think it's just as easy for me to go up a needle size. And so probably that would be what I would do in the future. It's just a little less fiddly, but I'm so happy that I tried this, and I just wanted to share in case nobody had ever heard of that before. But you do have a lot of stretch with it, and so I think it's going to be a good technique in the event that you don't enjoy going up a needle size, or you can't do that if you can't get a good gauge or whatever. It makes it too loose if you go up a needle size, but that was what worked for me. So I'm going to talk about the yarn. Ooh. Threw my ball band all the way across the room. I'm going to talk about the yarn. This is a yarn club that I get every month, and this is the February yarn club, so I should think by now everybody would have gotten this. She shipped this out pretty early. So this is Rose Hill yarn. It's the yarn club color. It's for February, and this is her DK weight in the Cherry Cola colorway. Beautiful. Beautiful yarn. This is my second installment of her yarn club. I love her yarn. I've spoken about it before, but it's beautiful. It was a great red. This is the color that I wouldn't mind having. It shows a little bit brighter on the screen, but a sweater quantity in this would be beautiful. It makes it's more of a muted red. So pretty. And then my contrast color was just some that I had in stash. This is it. And this is Magpie Fiber, Swanky DK in the Bougie Beaver colorway. And I thought that they went well together for socks, for color work. So yeah, that is the Fletching Socks. And again, she did it on a sport weight, and I went up a needle size. So one down, and the other one, it won't take me long to do that. I'm on the foot, so I don't have that much further to go. I'll be happy to have those done. And it's making me like color work. I'm not too good at all the complicated, 3 different colors and, complicated patterns. And a lot of times the color work on sweaters is done obviously in yoke form instead of raglan, and a raglan just kind of fits me quite a bit better, and I can get what I like for fit with a raglan. So anyway, I do like the simpler color work, and and my final work in progress is in a bag. Oh, I love this bag so much. It's a nice, good sized sweater bag, and it's by Stitchy Girl Studio, whom I've talked about before. This is, it's such a good bag. So I have cast on, it's a relatively new cast on, and it is a sweater for my granddaughter Annabelle for her birthday, which is coming up in March. And it is called Granny's Favorite, and it is by Georgie Hallam. And I will insert a picture for you to see. So I have just cast on, and then it is a cardigan, and with a lace top to it, which is so cute. I love it. It's got a garter neckband on it, and it's just a simple lace. So I have one more lace repeat to go, and then it'll just be stockinette back and forth. And it has 3 buttons, I think, along the band, so it just buttons at the top and not all the way down the sweater. She asked me for a cardigan a while ago when she saw my Felix, and gosh, don't I wish that the Felix was in a child size too, because man, that is such a great sweater to knit. So the yarn that I'm using is from Michaels. It's the Loops and Threads, and it is the Luxe Merino Wool Blend. This is 150 grams on this. It is a light, they consider it a class 3, like a sport DK, and it is 55 merino and 45 acrylic. So I like that blend, and it's very nice. So here it is, and just a nice pale blue color. I was very impressed with it. It knits up nice, and it hopefully is going to wear well. I had to keep the cost down on these sweaters. I just, these are budget friendly yarns, and for the kids, they just are kind of rough on their clothes. So I think it's a worthwhile way to go, and I will be interested to see how it wears, because I really do like the yarn. So I am knitting this size 30-inch chest. It's actually the 12-year-old size in the pattern, and I'm on a US 6 4mm needle, and I don't think there's anything else to say about that. Her birthday is mid-March, so I will have to get cruising along on this. It won't take too long, I don't think, to get it going on. So, and in the pattern it shows a 3/4 inch sleeve, and I think I might do that for her. I like it. It also has lace work, the same lace work along the cuffs on the sleeves. So I may try to do a 3/4 sleeve instead of a full length, because we're coming up to spring, and I want her to be able to wear that. So I think I might do that. I don't know. We'll see when I get there. All right. So the next thing I want to talk about are a couple of future knits. I think, I don't know when I'll cast them on, but the first one is the Skyline Pullover, and it's by Tori Yu. It is knit in a fingering and a mohair. It is a 20 stitch gauge on a US 6 4mm needle. It is a top-down construction, and it's got saddle shoulders, which I have not done yet, but I absolutely love the detail that goes all down the shoulder, right down into the sleeve. So I think that would be a nice choice for me. And I have yarn in my stash. I have no idea why I bought these. You know, one of those things. Anyway, I'm pretty sure it was Leslie Friend who influenced me for this yarn. This is Uning #1. So it is an Angora and wool combo. It's a 75 superfine wool and 25 Angora, and it's in the Alabama colorway. Just a nice neutrally browny color, very similar to the Slipover that I just completed. And I'm going to hold it together with, you guessed it, Knitting for Olive mohair in the dark cognac colorway. So that should pull together nicely. I hope. I think so. I'll know when I start knitting, and if not, then I will find an alternative color mohair to go with it. Whoa, it looks so bright on the camera. So that I think I'm still contemplating it a little bit, but I want to put a sweater on the needles for me again. And then the next thing, well, I do have a test knit coming up in a couple of days, so I don't know when I will get to cast these on, but one of the other things that I'd like to cast on is the Mill Hollow scarf, and it is by Emily Clausen of Salt City Knits. It is a 1 skein fingering weight done on a US 5 3.75 millimeter. And I just acquired a skein of yarn, and it made me think that this would be a good option for it. I attended a knitting day with a group of women that I went to last year for a whole day of just knitting at a library. It was really lovely. We had a great time. Anyway, they have a de-stash table there, and so I brought a couple of skeins with me, and of course I came home with a couple of skeins. My point being that the Mill Hollow scarf might be nice in this one. This is Nightingale Fibers. It's a fingering weight. It's 430 yards per 100 grams. And it is it's on the Eddy base. I think that's, and it is in the Evergreen colorway. So this is really drapey and silky, and I don't know. My only concern is that it might be a little pilly. Do you see it? Just a little bit starting. So I'm not sure yet, but that has potential. And if not, then certainly I have plenty in my stash to choose from. So again, I don't know when that will get cast on, but it's something that I'm eyeing, and it could be a bit, but I like to at least share a couple of things that I'm contemplating. Okay, and finally, I'm just going to talk a little bit about the winter woodland knitting retreat that myself and Judy at the Autumn Acorn are co-hosting. We did one this past year. You may already know this. I'm already sick of hearing about it, but I just wanted to let you know that we are putting out the information on Friday, March 1st, a short YouTube video showing the location lodgings, if you will, and it'll have all of the information in the description box below the video for the retreat. So that's going to launch on Friday, and we will be posting about it on Instagram as well. I will just say that we have a very limited amount of spots for this, so if you think you want to come along once you've seen it all, then I highly recommend you print that registration form off and get it to us as fast as possible, because we have a lot of people who have inquired about it. So that was the retreat information, and that is all I have to talk about, with the exception of a quick couple of sentences here about the knitting day. It's always so delightful when you could go and sit with knitters and in a community of them, and you meet new people and you share new yarns and you find new patterns, and just the camaraderie as usual, um, of joining a group like that. So thank you to Kathy for having me, and I dragged Judy along, of course, and so nice to see all of them. The group is the New England Knitters, and they have a Ravelry group if you're interested in seeing what they're all about. So that is really all that I have to talk about today. I hope that you enjoyed this podcast. I look forward to sharing the information about the retreat. And yeah, I think that's all that I have for today. So if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to like and subscribe. It really does help my channel a lot, and it helps others find me. And I appreciate you all so much. Thank you so much. Have a great day, and I will talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.